Back, everybody, to episode number 14 of the D.M.C podcast with your host, me, Adam Rigby, the bold, the beautiful, the beauty, and the beast, Mr. Cody Hunter. How are you, bro? How are you?
Bro, I like that, mate. I like that. And you know, these days, being called a beast is a good thing. Eh? And I always used to say it to the people in the gym, like, you're a beast. And sure, the dudes used to love it, but the ladies weren't too sure. But I'm pretty sure they understand the context. It's a good thing, mate.
Activate beast mode.
Beast mode. No, mate, everything's good here, brother. We, as I discussed a little bit in the last episode, we kicked off a little 42-day program called Mission 42, and I'm in on this as well. We are only a few days in, but it's awesome. Clean E, you know, really shutting down all the added sugar. And like I said before, I might need a toilet break at some point because we are drinking a fair bit of water. My body's slowly adjusting to it, but it's been great, mate. Really, really good. It's good to see everyone jump on board and crush it. But how you been doing, brother?
Mate, I've been doing awesome, obviously inspired by your story and the fact that you are drinking 4 liters of water before lunchtime. But there will be no toilet breaks. This is going to test your mettle, your resolve, crossing the legs and hanging on for the viewers and the listeners today. That's us. That's what we're all about. Mate, I've been going good, eh? Obviously, I have had the go-ahead to resume normal duties. So my surgery, the procedure that I underwent to get a vein removed was or seems to be successful. So the great thing is I don't have to wear a stocking. Not that wearing stockings didn't feel great at times. Moving on. I got to keep the stocking, by the way, just in case. But yeah, it appears I'm available. Resume normal, get back into exercise. Been doing light duties, walking for an hour every day. An opportunity to improve mind, body, soul experience. Reading up a storm. Reading 2 books at the moment, which is crazy. 2 at once. I thought I'd give that a go. Finished my first paperback that I've done in a while too. So Code of the Extraordinary Minds has some great stuff out of that. And yeah, just pushing on, mate. So much more energy, so much more energy. And, you know, we talked about it before, I guess, being away from the things that you do day in, day out. Some of the good habits, some of the bad habits allows you to do a bit of house cleaning. But certainly the thing that I miss most, and I've been catching up with a few people today, is the people, man. The buzz, the people, the vibes, getting in those little communities as part of communities and just connecting, just chatting, shooting the shit, training together, doing all sorts of stuff. So yeah, can't wait. Next week, Monday is obviously a holiday, but start training and be back at the gym on Monday. Mate, super excited.
It's so true, eh? The whole you know, I've changed up my whole schedule now, so I don't really do any morning coaching anymore. I just train. I've set it all up so that I just do some more. I do online stuff now. So, but what it means is I go to the gym every day and I sit there and I see everyone. I arrive there about 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning. It's just great energy, eh? And it's a great way to start the day. By the time you leave there, you know, I'm at home again by 7 or 7:30 in the morning. And I've already had a great morning, and it's just time to shower up, get the kids to school, and just crank the day out. But those connections, those catch up and connections, I couldn't imagine my life, which is what you've probably experienced in the last week or two, of not having the start to your day like that, because that's what we're so used to. And it's like, what would I do? Just wake up and take a shower and sit down and have breakfast? Like, I don't get that. I haven't done that for 15 years. You know, some days, sure, one or 2 days, but yeah, it's just a great thing. You get so addicted to it, eh? It's cool, man.
And it shows you that the environment you're in is positive for you, eh? And like I say, when you've got people that you can bounce off and just talk to, communicate with, be inspired by is another thing, because, you know, I like the walk a mile in my shoes. Everybody has those little objections when they get up, and you'll get there, and it's that common bond that we've talked about before, the common bond of suffering, where you all just appreciate that position, the opportunity to be able to be there and do something that you love, and it's 100% focused on you. And dropping the coaching is interesting, eh, bro? Because I think when you're a coach of people, even though you work out with people, it's still great to just do something 100% focused on you. the physical, the mental side, because when you do coach people, you give a lot of yourself. It's another level of energy, but to reconnect with those own personal goals and do that type of stuff for yourself, sometimes by yourself, with your headphones on, the international symbol for piss off, I'm training. Then you get in shit. Do not cross me. I have initiated beast mode, like it says on my t-shirt, beast mode.
But bro, it's like the power of the class. Because I had a chat. I was on the bike this morning during my workout. A little sustainable effort workout means 40 minutes of just around a little circuit. Nice little bit of sweat, about 75-80%. But one of the girls in the gym there, she got on the bike beside me. I had a quick chat, and I said, look, because she's no longer doing classes, she's doing her own things. I said, so how are you holding yourself accountable to get here at a certain time if you don't have to be here at a certain time? Because of course, the power of a class is knowing that shit, it starts at 8. I've got to be there at 8. But when it's your own time now, it's very easy to click on the old snooze a few times or just turn up 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later or whatever. And she did say it was a super challenge now. Snooze is being pushed a few times every single morning, which is so funny, eh?
Common.
And you sort of we feel you have to rush along and get to the gym. So that's the power of group training, personal trainers, a training partner. Just so you know, the time is set. And there's no negotiations, and there's no excuse other than you want to sleep a little bit longer. Or like I say, you've just slept for 6, 7, 8 hours, and now you need a 5-minute nap. What is wrong with you? Because that's what snoozing is. Snoozing is just a nap on top of your sleep you've just had. It's like, mate, you can nap later, but you don't nap after a full-blown sleep. Cut it out. No snoozer losers around here.
And it's actually really good to be able to identify that you have the ability to do that by yourself too. When accountability is one thing, but you've got to be accountable for yourself and for your own behavior as well. Knowing you've got someone to turn up to the gym to and work out with is great, but when you have to do it by yourself and be accountable, and that when the alarm goes off, and we all do it, like if you're on holiday and you might wake up at exactly the same time, the body clock is conditioned. Your eyes might open at 6 a.m, 5:30 a.m, and you think, oh yeah, I'm on holiday, snooze, bang. That, my friend, opportunity knocking. That is the time when you go, shit, yes. It doesn't matter what it is. We're big fans of movement, whatever shape or form it comes in. We're conditioned to doing exercise and movement in a certain way. But yeah, having that just state of mind that, you know what? I don't have anybody to train with today. I don't have a class to front up for, but this is important to me. I love this shit. I'm going to bounce out of bed and go get some. Why? Yep. Part of me, I will be 10 times the person. I will be happier, damn sight healthier, and I'll be way more productive knowing that the energy is flowing. With emotion goes, your energy flows.
That's exactly right, Brian. I was talking about it in one of the D.M.C, the dailies, was the power of the schedule. And that's what, essentially, if you're going to a class, you've scheduled a class and people know, so you show up. But do the same thing for everything we do throughout the day, everything that you want to achieve, work or non-work related. Schedule it, because it's not real until you've scheduled it. It's kind of like an idea. Oh, I'll do it if I have time. I'll go to the gym if I have time. But if you schedule it in a specific time, then it's blocked in. You get reminders for it. It's scheduled in the day, and you just make it happen. So I'm a massive fan of scheduling everything, and even my wake up times and bed times, and even go as far as meal times if that's something you need help with. Schedule your entire day out, print it out, put it on the wall, put it on your calendar. Man, it's so powerful, and it just gets you sticking to a schedule. It's your gift. You get to plan your dream day, bro. How good's that?
And as you said, it is the dream day. It's what a dream day looks like. And hey, we know, we're aware life moves lightning speed, and there's always things thrown at us that means we can be taken off schedule or off plan. But hey, know that we're smart enough to have a plan B. We can move on. If we need to drop something and not have the perfect schedule, then that's absolutely fine. But at least we had the intention of action packing our day. As long as we're doing something sort of by ourselves, we're doing something for ourselves. 100% our focus is doing something for others. You want to be happy, make others happy. Dalai Lama. That's what we're about. That is the magic, my friend.
It is the magic. I love that's what you said before, like the fan of all types of fitness modalities, because that's the kind of thing that if you travel for work and you've lost your gym morning or whatever regular schedule you've got, just do something, like just get to where you got to go, put on your walking shoes or your running shoes or whatever, and go for a cruise around the city or town that you're in or wherever you are. But there's always something you can do. And if you have that mindset, it's really adventurous. It's fun. You shouldn't be upset you miss a workout, because you're going to make up for it. You can always make up for it, but don't kick yourself for it and be like, oh, it's over, I've ruined it. No chance. Do 100 push-ups. 100 push-ups in the living room.
I went for a walk last night. You know, as I said, I've been doing my daily walking 60 minutes. I've been sort of 45 to 60 minutes anyway, because I do other stuff. But pitch black last night, kind of got caught out, thought, oh, it's getting dark. And then boom, blanket of darkness, walking down some pretty dark paths, thinking, ooh, this is pretty dark. But just the sights, the sounds, the smells, the experience, the different times of nights, you know. And I do love going for a walk and putting on audiobooks and listening, or motivation podcasts, etc. But also sometimes it's just to have the ears open and listen. Birds singing, the wind in the trees, a lot of water around at the moment. So as the current flows, the sound of water is something that I love. I'm very excited to get back in the pool too, by the way. But yeah, so sometimes it's great to tune out, sometimes it's great to tune in, but it's always good to move. And yeah, man, if you're going away, it doesn't take much to throw in a pair of shoes. Rather than saying, oh, you know, I ride a bike, so I've got to take my Tour de France replica kit. I've got to take my bike, my helmet, my shoes, all of this type of stuff. Get out, and that's why I love having a bike in the garage set up too, because you know, sometimes it just gets too hard. If it's pissing down with rain, there's so many objections. But hey, man, I've got a bike there, it's sheltered, I've got a fan down there, I've got a TV set up, so I can just broadcast the training app on there and just sit down and get it done. Because man, how good does it feel when you just tick that off the list?
Yeah, mate, it's a great one. I love what you're saying about that whole walk, because like we talk about listening to audiobooks as well, there are certain times, actually you and I had a chat on the online just on a call the other day about that whole awareness of breath and talking about meditation and mindfulness. And then we talked about like when you're in that zone, to try to brush off those different thoughts and things that you try not to, you know, not to enter your zone while you're in that space. And the same thing for me kind of goes while I'm walking or driving and I'm trying to focus on an audiobook. If it's not right, like if I'm on a walk and it's not right, I do the same. I shut it down and I just listen, because sometimes you're not taking in any information. So I don't want to waste the content by just saying I listen to an audiobook. I want to make sure I'm actually getting something from it. So turn it off, shut it down, and just focus on breath and just cruise through and really enjoy that time, that you know, that experience.
Yeah, because our mind races. There's always stuff going on. It's the way the brain works. It's different compartments of it firing at different times. And one thing that I really, really have gotten used to doing is, if I find it racing and taking me away from my set task, I do just stop and breathe. Just slow, determined of sitting, inhaling, usually for 4 through the nose, exhaling. And if I go through that 4 times, I just feel like everything slows down. You know, it's the speeding up to slow down type scenario. It's that moment where I can just recenter and everything just starts to flow away, and I'm back. And you feel the energy shift is just unbelievable. So whether you're just trying to recenter yourself, or whether you're at moments of pressure, you know that 100% of people that are alive breathe.
Mate, it's a time. Well, I saw a good meme the other day, and it goes. What was the meme? It was something like, basically, after every breath we take, we only have 2 minutes to live, but each breath resets it. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like a ticking time bomb. Like every breath, take a breath. Okay, I'm going to die in 2 minutes. Oh no, hold on. Reset. And it's like, it made me laugh. I was like, holy shit. Lucky we get that next one.
The things we do. I mean, isn't the human body amazing in terms of the capacity? We've talked about it before. The ability to do stuff. Driving a car. Holy shit balls! All of the stuff. These little torpedoes that we jump in and hurtle around the highways, and other cars flying at us, rapid speed, to do all of this stuff. That's why you cannot multitask. That's why you should not do your makeup, Cody, while driving.
Sorry,
yes, okay, mate. It's okay, mate. Looking good though, bro.
Mate, speaking of those mindfulness practices, bro, my daughter was telling me the other day, I don't know if I showed you, but they have this thing they do at school when they need to calm themselves down, and they use their fingers, and she's like, breathe in, And so the teachers give them this exercise to do in the class when, I don't know, when they need to calm down or center themselves or chill. And I was like, how good is that? She's teaching it to me the other day. So it's a cool little practice, one that I'll put in the old back pocket.
If you can coach your children or younger people to get in the process of doing that, to be mindful, to practice mindfulness. And we've got a guest coming up that epitomizes everything to do with that that sentence and that mindset, that ethos. But taking the time to adopt that as early as we can, and not necessarily preaching it, adopting it yourself and teaching other people the benefits of it, especially people who suffer from anxiety because they're so focused on what's ahead. We've talked about it before, too far ahead, and there's anxiety with it. They're already always one step ahead. Slow down, focus on the moment. And that's really one thing that I kind of wanted to talk about today, and it just came to me like after, last week, I think it was before we were about to do our podcast, I just took a photo, and bro, we talked about it before, and some people joke about it. I don't really like photos. I'm not a big fan of Blythe. I'm not a big fan of the camera, to be honest, and I won't deep dive into why, but and I just was compelled to take a photo, just a selfie, and I flicked on portrait mode. Wasn't a bad photo, to be honest. No hair product, obviously, as last week. I got a bit more today, a bit more style.
There you go.
But just the natural curl, that was 100% me, in my element. I'm like, why did I feel compelled, for someone who not really a big fan of taking, it's not my thing. Why was I compelled to take a photo? And I was just genuinely, in that moment, I was happy and I just wanted to capture it. And I just thought, fuck, I not only want to capture it, but I felt compelled to share it. So that's what I did. And I just it was just all about starting with a smile, just that natural smile. I do enjoy smiling. It's great for you, twisting the sides of your mouth in an upwards direction. So a friend of mine, Dan McDonough, once said, if you're happy, tell your face. Just twist the sides of your mouth up, and it is infectious, it is contagious. So sharing, being compelled to share that moment. And again, it's kind of that the opportunities that we have right now, right here, are we maximizing every moment? I was watching a little documentary about a cyclist, Teo Gegenhardt, who won the Giro d'Italia, which is a 3-week Grand Tour. And he said winning that made him really appreciate what it was to be in the best shape of his life, what it is to be in a great shape. And I think shape varies, right? You can't stay in peak condition. No one can for all of the time. And that's why athletes peak. They go off peak and they peak for the Olympics, and they come down, they peak for world championships. They have to come down physically, mentally, emotionally. We need that stability to manage the highs and lows at absolute best. But he was saying that going through that whole process made him appreciate the moment that he was in his absolute peak physical condition. And that'll go down in history for him, because it's documented that he won one of the significant bike races in the world. But it's the same for all of us. We get in situations where we wake up in the morning, there's the opportunity. We are abound by energy. Some days we feel amazing. Are we wasting those opportunities by just thinking, oh, I'll just go and tick that box, I'll go do what I normally do? Or are we thinking, right, this is too good not to share? And that was the thing about that photo. I thought, fuck it, I'm going to snap this photo. This is me happy for once, wanting to take a selfie, smiling in my element, headphones on, repping the D.M.C, ready to do a podcast, which is something, bro, we're super passionate about. We love this. It's immensely fulfilling for a whole number of reasons. And the feedback is one thing, the support is another. But those moments, are we as individuals maximizing right now? Do you even do a self-assessment? Do you sit back and think, right, here I am, here's the pros and cons, I've been working out. I'm feeling fit. I'm feeling great. Am I just going to sit down and rest on my laurels? Is this enough for me? Or is this the time that I can really go out and actually motivate other people to go and do the same and get to this space? Am I mentally peaking? Are my powers of energy, communication, are they at an all-time high? Is that the time to sit, enjoy it and dwell on it? Or is that the time to actually go out and accelerate it by sharing it with others? Hey, it's that infectious energy, it's that momentum, it's that role. So yeah, I mean, it started with a selfie, then I obviously started to go deep.
Deep as. It's so good, bro. It's that whole awareness, mate. I love it, because you are right. The double down when you're going hard, well, when you feel good and you've got something, when you're like ramped it up, hey, you need to double down on it. You know, it's hard, like we say, there's those big, you know, the peak and recovery. Sorry, it's called peak, trough, recovery, for example. And that could be a big macro issue, like through a month, week, or day. But yeah, like on that whole day vibe, it's like your peak at whatever time, then you have your trough for a bit, and you've got your recovery. So all of us are different. Night people might be different. They might be recovery, trough, peak, whatever. But when you're in the good zones, when you're in the zones where you've got lots to give and you're on fire and you're in the zone, hey, like load that shit up for time. You don't want that stuff to be just wasted, eh? And you're right, be aware of that. And then the opposite way around as well. If you've sometimes in the trough when you're feeling like shit and down, also then is a good chance to go and be around the right people, because they'll pull you back out. Not necessarily, it doesn't always have to be you, eh? It doesn't always have to be you that offers the fuel or the ignition. But again, it's like that whole vibe, eh, where things build on each other, energy builds up. Mate, it's fucking beautiful, mate.
Yeah, so be the, like, you know, the whole thing is be the person in the room or your flat or your family that stands up and go, hey, shit, anybody keen for a walk?
Yeah.
Or, mate, do you want to go to the botanical gardens? Or, hey, I've seen this is on. Does anyone want to go? Or, hey, shall we do this? Does anybody want to go for a bike ride? And you might get shot down, but man, if you can drag one person, what a difference. You've already made a difference. You've not only understood that you're in that moment where your energy is really starting to flow, but you've managed to pick it up and share it with another person, and you've got them out of their seat. And if you are struggling, it's a very simple process. Grab both hands, put them firmly on the top of your knees and push hard. And what will happen is your bum will lift. It's called standing up. And then you go and get it. You just reprogram, mate. It's a rewiring. You just don't get. What do? Be small. You got to hit to be small.
but like you said, no one regrets a good workout, or no one regrets a good walk. You don't finish something and be like, oh God, I wish I never did that. And our kids, bro, they're good, because often the kids are the ones that say, let's go for a bike ride. Let's go kick the ball around. Let's go to the park. And you might have had a massive day. You might be tired. You might have woken up at 5:30, 4:30 in the morning. But if you can sort your shit out and go with them, man, it's often the coolest part of the afternoon or the day, eh? And you do come home and you're like, man, I'm so happy I just said yes to that. And that's where being the old yes man, eh? Like the yes parent to your kids. Those situations are the ones that have major benefits, eh? And you're like, wow, how good is that? Hey, Dad, should we go for a walk? No, mate, I'm pretty tired, eh? Let's wait till tomorrow. You know, and they're sitting there going, oh, cool. Or, yeah, okay, son, let's go for a bit of a walk. Awesome, man. But it's awareness again, hey? Like just to know, say yes. Hands on knees, mate. Stand up. Fucking get it, baby.
Hands on knees and push. Lose more. Lose. Oh,
mate, in the gym lately, I've been going, yeah, baby. And everyone's like, mate, you're lost your mind, eh? Yeah, that's a good one, mate. That's a good one.
That guy. Do you need that on a t-shirt? Actually, maybe we should have that on the back of a D.M.C t-shirt, and maybe we should give one away, bro. Maybe we should give one away.
Well, we definitely need to give one away. As we know, the DMs, there's been requests for all sorts of gear and merch and people noticing it in the gyms. But I was going to say, bro, after you talked, it's funny, eh? The more episodes you put out and leaving them up there and continue to do what we do, new people start listening. And it's like, I get a lot of people coming in and they're like, oh, I just started listening. Like this is literally this morning and the day before, and just different people. And because we keep putting out content consistently and we keep doing it, it just slowly builds. It's so interesting, how it just continues on where, you bring in all these new listenership and a lot of young people of all ages and demographics. It's cool, man. It's very, very cool.
Mate, I had a chat today, actually. I was in just having a pot of green tea with a ramekin of honey.
Ramekin, I love
in
that
the
word.
afternoon with a ramekin. Don't you love just ordering stuff that comes with a ramekin?
Yeah, I've always loved that word, mate.
And yeah, and a guy that I'd known for a long, long time, hadn't seen in a while, hadn't been at the gym. He was going through a couple of things, but he said, mate, I've checked the podcast out, loved it. He said, yeah, and he talked to me about, he said, mate, what you said about showing up, it's episode 1. He's just started the journey. Showing up. We can go back to that all day, every day. Showing up, critical, be there. Yeah. And it's the same thing, right? Connecting with those moments that we talk about. Show up in those moments because you're there, you're amongst it, the opportunity. There's no opportunity like right here, right now. You want to make a difference, then go out. Again, push on the knees, go out and make a difference. You can do it. You can do anything that you want to do within reason, within the confinements of the law. Let's make sure it's like the Red Bull gives you wings. Note, Red Bull will not actually make you fly. Okay?
Yeah.
It's marketing. Yeah. All right. But when we say you can do anything you want to do, just think about it. And again, if we go over the fact that we use about between 25 to 40% of our actual capabilities in terms of brain power, which drives that ability to overcome challenges mentally and physically. But if we can even tap into a little bit more of that, it's there. I'm sure we just have to reprogram. That's all it is. That's what the brain's doing all the time. Again, we train the body, we train the brain. It's malleable. We can reprogram it. We can reprocess it. But it starts with a positive thought, and it starts with putting yourself in the best possible position to be able to do that at the start line. And I think, and don't get caught running someone else's race, eh?
Yeah, that's a good one, bro. I think I was just going to say that a good way to start that, if you've got any issues or anything like that, is to get around the right types of people, the right people, or the right information, or the right content that gets you there. And we had a bit of a chat last week because one of the girls in the gym came up to me after class the other week, last weekend, and was like, "Oh, you guys were in my ear this entire week because there was an event that I was going to, and my best friend canceled on me. So normally I'd have this fear of being alone and going somewhere alone." I mean, she'll be early 20s, which I remember those days of being afraid to be anywhere alone as well, and she's like, but some of the messages you guys have talked about just put me in the mindset of like, no, I've booked in, I was going to go, I want to go to this seminar, this workshop, so I'm going to go. So she went along by herself, and then she said, I even leveled up by going up to the presenter at the end and shaking their hand and saying thank you for the show, which she said she would never do in a million years before. This is what she said before listening to our podcast. So I was like, how cool is that? And that's just, again, awareness, ideas, positivity, thoughts, the right people, the right content in your ears. And you might not even be know it's happening, but it happens. There's a big effect of it all. And it's just a matter of doing it more, saturating it up, and it will flow on through to your life, eh? And that's essentially what this is all about. And that's what we always talk about, eh? We just do it more, continue on, things will happen, things will grow. So it's so good.
Yeah, and the conversation we're having with people, what our hope is that becomes their conversation with their people. Yeah, or they can say, hey, that's why we say, hey, if you want to get them, if you want us to take the responsibility of having that conversation with your friends, with your family, with your loved ones, if you can share this content, that would mean the world to us. But if you're confident enough, or you understand the message, and you can take that responsibility to have the D.M.C yourself, then go do it. Go and do it. Have the D.M.C, sit down, just see what unfolds. I love that. Just sit down across the table and phone in pocket, no distractions, and just communicate. Communicate. Talk to them about the way that you've applied the advice, the learnings, what you picked up from it, and how it felt. As we've always said, what we're trying to do is just give you a leg up and get you to appreciate, because we all do, We'll go back to society just wants us to be fucking average, and we are not. We are all unique. We are all unicorns. We are all crafted to do something exceptional, and it's called living. It sounds really, really simple. It's made to be incredibly difficult, because we're just oppressed. Time to wake up. That's what we're here to say. Wake up, peeps. The opportunity is yours. If we can get you on a path at the age of 25 or earlier, or even older, if you feel as though you've been on a treadmill, then it's time to step off, baby, and start to walk your own path, because, it starts with the first step. The next most important step, obviously, is the next most step. Just fuck, keep going, because we got you. Hey, bro.
Hell yeah, bro. And that, going on that alone one, that's a good one, because it's been a common thing of conversations I've had lately from different people, from guys who have just recently broken up with their long-term relationships, and are sitting at home alone on a Saturday night, and guess where their minds are going? You know where their minds are going. They're going to dating apps. They're going to sort of instant quick fixes, relationships that aren't really necessarily going to benefit them at all in the long term, other than just like that quick fix. And so yeah, it's a really, I think it's an, I just jotted it down before. It's quite an interesting one to sort of dive into, that whole form of dealing with loneliness and understanding how to fall in love with yourself, so that when you do get times alone, you actually really appreciate it and you enjoy it, and you're not all antsy about it. You've got things you're working on or you're dealing with. But yeah, did you ever go through a stage like that, bro? At one point where the you couldn't handle being alone, especially on a weekend, you'd be like, party time or whatever it was, or is that been a thing to deal with?
When you're young, it's being alone with yourself. There's so many changes going through as a young person, so many conflicting messages, because you're learning, you're dealing with a whole lot of new people, right? I mean, you're starting to find out where you fit in society and environment. So you may have started a new job, you maybe started a new gym, so you're experiencing all these different levels of connections and all these different opinions, which is important. Diversity is critical. Started reading under Glenn's recommendation, Rebel Ideas, and it's the same thing. If you surround yourself with people that think the same as that echo chamber that you talked about, mate, you're in trouble. You're in for a world of hurt, because all you're going to do is sit and nod heads, and you're never going to fucking learn. So surround yourself with diversity. That noise is critical. If people are questioning you, fantastic. Be brave enough to question them also. We get set levels of hierarchy, so we feel as though we can't have a voice. Be in a situation where you feel you are not only you're rewarded to actually speak your mind. Be comfortable, be confident to speak your mind. Should ever shoot you down for sharing your thoughts. That go back to the classroom stuff again. We don't want to put our hands up because we don't want to feel fucking stink. But yeah, mate, I mean, like now, I love the time just sitting down, relaxing. I find it impossible, for the most part, to sit still. I can't do it. If I'm at a restaurant or sitting down at a table, I'm the one with the legs moving all the time. People try to peg it by giving it a name, but it's just, it's ants in the pants. I can't sit still. That's okay. That's just me. I try, but it's like something will have to move. Something have to move, and it's not my legs that'll be in my mouth. And I keep doing it. I can't stop. I can't stop. Baseball. It's baseball. It's called baseball. But yeah. So I love, because it's a chance just to reconnect, reaffirm, and just center. And it's great to be alone with your thoughts sometimes. And the process used to be like, if you're sitting down and you're spinning through all the thoughts and you go back, and again, it's that anxiety about looking forward or focusing way far back on stuff that you fucked up and made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. But the great thing is you have an opportunity each and every moment, just to reset. And if you've learned a lesson, fantastic, job done. Oi. But you know what I mean? You've got an opportunity not to relive it. You don't have to relive it. It served its purpose for you. You can push on. If you've made a mistake previously in your life, hey, everybody makes mistakes. It doesn't mean that every decision you make from that point on is going to be a mistake. If you've had successes in the past, it doesn't mean to say you cannot experience success in the future. but you've got to be willing to take a punt. Got to be willing to move on and move forward. And you learn and you live and you love unconditionally. That's what we should all be. Just plug in, walk out and just, like I say, if you're going for a walk, don't take headphones out. Just look around, man. Beautiful blue sky, if you're lucky. The sound of raindrops pelting against your parka, just being outside, moving. All of these types of things that we're surrounded by, the stimuli that we try and avoid, we don't entertain because it's too hard, it's too difficult. The challenges are the things that make life stunning. Overcoming them is how we learn. It's how we teach other people. But the best thing we can teach other people is to go, mate, live your life, learn. Learn from the mistakes you made.
Yeah, that's right.
Like the mistake I learnt about putting a knife in a toaster. Don't do that shit.
Was that yesterday?
Do not. It was a long time ago.
Just the other day. No.
It's not that. Yeah, 5 minutes.
But you're right. That whole like we talk about, and you've got to be super careful because negativity and the bad shit is so loud. It's so loud if you let it be. That's the stuff we see everywhere. It's the energy that you feel when you walk into a room. Often there's certain things that are just like far out. It's easy to get caught up in it. And so having that mindset, of like identifying the good shit in life and the good stuff in your day, it is a gift. And just to be able to see it and see the smiling faces and see someone give you a wave when they let you in the car or you let them in, and you're just like, yeah, bro, awesome. That's just these little small things, but how cool is that, It all adds up. Just got to be open to it.
Yeah, what I really love is when you're in the zone, right? When you have the energy, when you have the passion, when you're excited, when you're just happy, and you might walk into a shop to get a coffee, and you walk up to the thing, your chest is proud, your smile is bright, the person looks up at you and goes, fuck, a second. And you go, g'day, how are you? And like, whoa, it's that energy, They're just like almost push back, like opening a door in an airplane to a whole new country where you feel that temperature. That's what they feel, that transfer when you're like, oh, how are you? Shit, mate, amazing. Thank you so much. And what's mine, living the dream. That fast forward to the dream state. It's not to say it's something we aspire. It's something we aspire to be in. So I'm a big fan of just putting your feet into those comfortable slippers of your dream state and just walking a mile in that dream state, experiencing what it feels like, manifesting positive energy, and that's what we can do. If you go out full of energy, it's going to perpetuate, it's going to manifest more energy, it's going to attract more positive energy. You come up against people that are having a relatively indifferent or a shit time, and it might just impact them differently. They might go, oh shit, okay, shake out of it.
Yeah. It's like those phone calls, and I remember doing this when I used to call from overseas, call the Inland Revenue Department about my student loans while living over in Asia, or the lack of putting any money on my student loans while living in Asia. So it's again, being afraid of shit that's not even real, like false evidence appearing real. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get arrested when I go back to New Zealand. I'm going to be one of those people who are like going to get in the biggest shit ever. If I call them, I'm going to get in trouble. And then I thought, you know what? Let's tear the Band-Aid off. So I remember this obviously years ago, but I call them up and go, oh, this is Cody Under, blah, blah, blah. And the lady on the phone, number one, I always try to make call center people like try to be nice. And that's when they go, hello, this is Bethany here. How are you today? I'm like, I'm fine, thank you. And how are you doing? And they always pause because I feel like no one ever says, how are you? They're always almost like you've ruined the flow. They go, oh yeah, I'm good, thank you. What do you want? It's almost like you've ruined their flow. And it's never as bad as you think it's going to be, right? They're always on the phone. They're so, if they want to help you, people like that want to help you. So if you let them help you, but I always found that if I gave them my positive vibes, they would help me as much as they could. They would give you, it was just so much of a better experience, eh? So you get what you give. You get in there, you're negative, you're angry, you're short, you're an asshole. What do you think's going to happen? Are they going to go to their way to fix you when there's about 15,000 people on the line waiting for you to get off so they can answer? No chance. If you're awesome, they'll keep you on the line so they don't have to deal with any of the other assholes on the phone. So it's like, it's just so good, eh? It's like, well, this is my power. I'm going to keep this on and get this sorted out. And mate, it's always just a funny example of when I should have been terrified. Well, when I was terrified for no reason, and you just got to have that right mindset and positivity, and it just pays off big time.
Yes, it's coming into those situations with a positive remark or a statement, but it's also the exit strategy to a conversation be positive as well. And when they say, is there anything more I can help you with? Normally I'm like, no, thank you. You have been awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help. Have a great day. And that'll brush off. They'll carry that with them. So, like a little piece of armor that I'll put here. So they might get dealing with an absolute asshole or cockhead that's just wrong frame of mind or having a shit day, and they want to take that out on that particular person. Again, just trying to help, man. Just trying to help. And that's something I think it's a great mindset. That's one thing that I carry with me professionally as well. My intention, my the bag that I carry, the big hairy audacious goal that I carry, what's my mission is actually to help people, to provide assistance for people to form mutually beneficial long-term relationships inside and outside of a professional and personal. So it's way bigger than anything else, the wins and losses. Simon Sinek, the infinite versus finite. Are your goals just beginning and end? Because that's not infinite, is it? And it's very hard. That's the kind of wins and losses. And that's, if you look at sports people that are used to winning, suddenly they have to win all the time. But when your goal is a whole lot bigger impact, that's what we should all strive to do. So it starts with a conversation, Like I say, it starts with a smile for us. That the impact that you can have as an individual by being yourself, because we'll reconnect with it, because you were born out of love, out of light. There may have been speed bumps along the way that have caused us to deviate. There may have been some people, just let the dog out. There may have been some people from time to time that have tried or attempted to dull that light or steal it from you, but they have not succeeded, because again, 3 words, here you are. Despite everything that has happened in our lives, here we are. Here we stand together, united. That's the thing I love, that, like I say, what Cody and I are trying to do is, certainly our message is that we should all take that responsibility seriously to share the best possible version of ourselves, because the world deserves to see that from you. The world deserves to see the best possible version of you. You deserve to feel the best possible version of you. And I love that, and the difference it can make when you have the confidence. All right. You don't have to fake it till you make it. Sometimes, again, like I say, just put yourself in that mindset, shift your mindset a little. You have a right to be confident, because man, you're way stronger than you think you are, than you give you credit for. Have people told you that you're weak before? Probably. Do they know you? No, they don't know you. They don't know you. You probably have something that they always wanted, whether it's charisma. They may not understand you because, you have a personality that's different to everybody else. And we embrace the differences. Again, diversity is critical in the making of well-informed workplaces, societies, families. If you've got a different opinion, great. If you've got the confidence and ability to share that opinion and have others discuss it, it's great to have an opinion, but be wary that others don't let there be friction. Just let it open up as a discussion.
Yep.
And you may learn something.
Yeah, absolutely, Brian. I like that. Because sometimes those conversations or debates that sometimes people don't like hearing what you have to say, and they may try to talk over you or yell you out or phase you out, because, and that's the thing as well. Like, you can't always impact on certain people. Sometimes you've just got to let that shit flow and move on. You know what I mean? Like, we talked about that, I think, in the past, because these days there is a huge thing around, it's just being very loud and shutting out all the other opinions. It's almost like you can't have debates very often anymore, like a good quality, different opinions. We can still be friends. Maybe we agree on different things. We have different opinions on things, but doesn't mean people still can't be friends or family members or get along. Doesn't mean that you've got to be on the other side and you're gone burgers. No, mate, we're done now because you agree with that and I do not. So let's just shut this down and never talk to each other ever again. That's
Yep.
a little bit like it is these days because there's so many of us people who are just keyboard warriors, love slamming shit, and let's cancel everything that doesn't agree with us.
Brave, mate. Don't just sit behind a screen. If you've got something to say it. And if you don't have the bravery to be able to say it to someone's face, do you think it's actually honest and authentic? You know, are you just trying to push shit for the sake of it? And it's about respect, right? Because we talked about it before. Everything we speak is what we have learned, what we have been taught, and religion is part of that. You know, it's based on location, proximity. Where you've been brought up, how you've been brought up, is that's your stack of beliefs that you carry forward into life. And it's about everything. There's you go back to the 4 agreements. Everything has a name, whether it's a cup or a chair or an emotion. Everything we have been handed that. So respect that someone has been brought up differently to you, has a different stack of beliefs that have been handed to them. What's great about us now, we live in an information free, fast highway where we can make have educated opinions because we can get out there and we can communicate with someone halfway across the world, you know. And some stuff we find it hard to understand because it's not what we don't know. We don't know any different. You imagine how the world was back then because we were set in our ways, because we had no diversity, country to country. It took weeks to travel from one country to another. You think about the indigenous peoples of each and every island that litters the Pacific, watching a ship sail in, going, "What the fuck is that?" You know,
might as well be
and then and all the people on the boat, all they knew was conquest. All they were about was, okay, this is our new land. You know, that's all they considered. That's all it was about, conquest. And so what happens? People on the way, it's led to wars, confusion, disruption, and could be resolved with communication. There are no excuses now. We know how to communicate. We're way better at it. There's no language barriers anymore, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's even apps that can translate stuff for you, mate. There's like all sorts of things now, all sorts of ways to communicate.
Yeah, unfortunately, Captain Cook wasn't like, "Hey Siri."
No, mate.
Yeah.
How do I say hello in Te Reo Māori?
Hello, I'm Captain Cook. Hello. Hello. Instead of just trying to, whatever that is. It's history is just littered with poor comms.
Mate, funny thing is
sacrifice.
I was just going to say again, back to you get what you give. So of course, I was about to say grew up. I spent the majority of my adult life living overseas in Asia. And that's a prime example of your attitude will be a direct reflection of the type of attitude you get in return. And sure, you'll walk into a room over there with some old Korean dude, and a Joshi they're called. And mate, they'll give you vibes that they hate you with a passion. You'll get a vibe that they're like, they want you to leave now. Now, I always looked at that like, sure. I mean, of course, I'm a massive white dude from some random country, but, and I'd always assume you're American, which, a lot of Koreans still don't really like Americans have been around sometimes. But all I would do is, number one, speak Korean right away, say hello, smile, be extremely respectful and positive. And straight away, you see their faces go whoosh and just change. And all of a sudden, they'll be your best mates. And again, but then I saw my friends who would go against it and start like either being rude or swearing or, like just trying to fight against them. And what does it do? Just cause more and more issues. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Well, number one, this is their country. We're here as visitors. Speak Korean, speak the language of the local people and see what kind of respect they'll give you. You just get what you give. And my experiences over there, so good.
It's such an old tourist mentality. Traveling's frustrating because no bugger speaks English over there. It's just bloody frustrating. I should learn English. It's obviously the most popular language in the world, isn't it? English, surely. Surely it is. No? What do you mean?
Oh.
Spanish? What? The bloody Spaniards? Crikey. What's this world coming to? What's this world coming to? Well, mate, the only thing that got me through Italy was ciao and doppio espresso, por favor.
That's right. You got to learn how to order the good stuff, eh? Yeah, you got to learn how to order the good stuff.
Yeah, and a little bit of French. Took to 3 years of French, actually, which means my accent. I was complimented on my accent last time in France. Bonjour. Yeah, I was complimented on my accent by a French gentleman when we were in France for the Tour de France, which was, yeah, I thought that was quite cool. That was quite cool. And it's something I've been meaning, I keep putting it off actually, but yeah, that's something I will pick up. And then I kind of thought, oh, mate, why stop at one language? And I've got a selection of languages that I'm probably keen to pick up. Italian, obviously, French, because I have a history of it. Tereo would be fantastic. We learn the bare basics. The bare necessity is the language of our country, of my ancestry, certainly. So it'd be great to pack more meaning behind that and to communicate in the language of our nation more effectively, rather than just saying hi, bye, matewa. Yeah, man. So matewa. But yeah, bro. So I mean, yeah, plenty of reasons to celebrate. Obviously, episode number 14, we're well and truly over the hump. Again, peeps, we have got some guests coming up. Yeah, we've gone we've gone hard at this one. There's a couple of people like and that I'd love to reach out in time. We've not been so strategic about it, bro? But there's some stuff that we really want to talk about that we feel as though we'd love to talk to experts about, and it's really about the journey, not necessarily their given profession or their passion. It's the journey about how they got there. And it's the contrast in the stories that we really love. So we've been looking long and hard at some of the people who really inspire us. A lot of the people that really inspire us are you guys. So we're going to get an opportunity to talk to you too. We're going to go live, which would be awesome. One thing that we do really ask of you guys, if you have not subscribed, to please subscribe. If you haven't managed to share it, please share. We're going to push some more stuff on Instagram. We're going to come up with some more content. We're going to go short, little, powerful, action-packed.
What do we call them?
Shorter
nuggets.
Nuggets. We're going to call it our gold mine, and that's where we're going to start to push some of those little nuggets that we have that people are responding to. We're gonna start to do that. And if there's any stuff that you guys would like to hear, like to see, like to experience with us, then just let us know. Sing out. Don't feel stink, bro. Okay? Don't feel stink. Just reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. We are to have a little bit of a comp, a little bit of a competition, a little bit of a like share comp, just to stimulate that with some merch on the line. Limited edition.
Yes, it is right now, mate.
Limited handcrafted
goodies.
Sort of handcrafted, handmade, potentially touched with hands while it was made. Merchandise from the D.M.C podcast, from us to you, and all it is like, share. Cody's our content man. He's our marketing engine. He's the one that throws these beautiful things together. The music, the lights, the sound, all I do is turn up, jump out of my caravan, put my headset on,
action,
pull the tissues off.
Always dealing with the entertainment's hard work, mate. I tell you, the attitudes, the craft food tables, mate, mate, we got it though. We got it.
The catering was exceptional.
Catering's the hardest part. You like that, mate?
Catering was exceptional. I did actually have to hoof in a little bit of food because I got caught short today, obviously. In terms of schedules, I was on Western time, you were on Eastern time.
So completely. It happens, brother.
But again, what do? Here we are. We showed up.
Mate,
we showed up. We were determined, as we are every week. Let us know, please, if there's stuff you want us to talk about or investigate on your behalf, even if it seems random to you. People that you would like to hear from, or personal heroes of you that we will approach. Yes, we will. If I have to send Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson an invitation to talk to us, then I will do it.
Mate, I tried to contact him already, mate. He's hard to get through the gatekeepers on him, though. He came to Korea one year, and I remember I direct messaged him about 5 times, like, mate, if you need a place to train, come train at Reebok CrossFit Sentinel at my gym. I'll look after you, mate. He didn't get back to me. Pretty sad, but next time we'll try again.
I think you have to say, I have been smelling what you have been cooking.
True.
I've been smelling what you've been cooking. Please, tequila, energy drinks, flexin, that type of stuff. We don't set go. I mean, it's up to people if they will reach out. We'll talk to anybody. If you know someone in your life that has something to say, and you think, hey, I know this person, they would be great to talk to. Here is their story. Then reach out to us, DM us, and we would love the opportunity to talk with people, hear more about this story. There's some amazing people out there that have accomplished so many things under trying circumstances, that have reinvented themselves, reforged themselves out of fire, rebuilt their lives, changed their passion, their career, their focus, just to chase a dream. We love that shit. So if you're one of those people, you want to share your story with us, do it. If you know people, they don't have to be famous. You don't have to be famous to chat to us.
Don't be out as famous as us.
Don't you know who we were?
Once we're influencers, that's right. Once we're famous.
Once we're still looking for sponsorship. But not really. Not really. Anybody AS color for the t-shirt? Thank you very much.
Mate, I love it, but I'm excited about that giveaway, mate. And people have commented on the merch, so it'll be good to be able to give some away to our amazing family, our crew here that follow us. That'd be cool.
For sure. For sure. Just know, guys, you appreciated 1000%. We love the opportunity to catch up and communicate with each other. Again, this is about you, this is for you, and this is us. It's just our way of showing and telling you, letting you know that you guys are appreciated, that you are powerful, that you are strong, that you are an individual, that you are unique, 100% you. You're a unicorn. Now go out and just celebrate it, man. Get out. Make the most of the opportunity that is right here, right now. We got you. You'll never regret it. Never.
Boom. Love it, bro.
With that in mind,
team, time to seal the deal for the day. Thank you all for tuning into this episode. Do the yards. Thank you so much for being here. We love your work. We're grateful for you all. Thank you for tuning in.
We do.
Adam Rigby with me on 3. With me on 3. Hands up. 1, 2, 3.
So close. So close. I think
it might be even
fraction of a second.
That's how it rolls. That's how we do it here at the D.M.C. So
we've come a long way, mate. We've come a long way.
Take care, everybody. See you all next week. Peace out.
Peace and love. Peace and love.